What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys could read from the title of the video, Lucid actually debuted their latest Tesla rival, and this is a high-performance luxury sedan with a 446-mile range. So this video is going to cover exactly what the specs are for this vehicle, as well as how this could possibly affect Lucid over the next few months. And then I'm also going to touch on why I think Lucid is going to succeed despite all this negative down pressure that we've been seeing for the past couple months. But before we actually get into the video, for those of you who are new here, my name is Evan and I make videos covering different growth stocks and what my thoughts are on these different stocks. So if that interests you guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload. Also, make sure you guys go down and hit the like button because it really helps out the channel, and it also lets me know that you guys enjoy these video updates every day. So I'd really appreciate anybody who hits the like button. So as I mentioned, Lucid has really been seeing a lot of down pressure over the last couple of months. Right now, today, they're actually trading at 21.30, down about 2% from market open. And then on the 1 week chart, they're actually down almost 10% at 9.75% right now, down about $2.30 on the week. But if we actually zoom out to the 3-month chart, this is where you can see where Lucid has really been seeing a lot of that downward pressure, and they've really been stabilizing between $20 and $25 it seems, because just 3 months ago, they were actually trading $24 higher, and they're down about 53% over the last 3 months of trading. But I do think with Lucid being able to debut this new rival to Tesla, which is their high-performance luxury sedan, I think we're going to see this reflected in their share price, because the Lucid Air already was a very popular and powerful sedan for Lucid, and it really did impress critics in a lot of ways when it launched last fall. But as of today, Lucid announced the Grand Touring Performance, and this is going to ship with 1,050 horsepower, and it's going to have a starting price tag of almost $180,000 at $179,000. Now, I'm sure you guys are aware of the Lucid Air, which was launched last fall, and through the end of the year, they actually capped production for the Dream Edition, which was at 520 vehicles. And all of those vehicles were spoken for months before Lucid actually began shipping the first Airs from their Arizona factory in October. And so because there was so much interest around the Lucid Air from last fall, Lucid said today that the Grand Touring Performance is going to have specifications that very nearly match the Dream Edition, and it's only going to have a starting price tag of $10,000 higher, and it's not going to be a limited production run. Lucid also said that in late February, they had built about 400 vehicles since starting production in September, and they had about 25,000 reservations for the Air. And I'm sure you guys are probably aware that they had a prior forecast of 20,000 vehicle deliveries for the year of 2022, but they actually now expect that to be between 12 and 14,000 vehicles. Now, this isn't a problem just directly for Lucid because there's actually a global supply chain disruption that slowed the ramp up of the Air production as well as a lot of other companies. Lucid isn't the only company being affected, and there's a lot of other companies, including NIO, Tesla, Li Auto, and XPeng, just to name a few, that have actually seen a lot of part shortages as well. And the reason why Lucid decided to debut this latest model is because the CEO, Peter Rawlinson, said that the company moved to develop the higher performance model after realizing that there was still considerable demand for a range-topping Air with a 4-figure horsepower rating. And the reason why Lucid was able to develop this new model so quickly is because of their vertical integration. Rawlinson has mentioned before that Lucid develops and builds all of their own electric motors and battery packs in-house instead of relying on third-party suppliers for the components as most other large auto manufacturers do. And as we take a look at the specs of the vehicle here, keep in mind that there's been performance adjustments to the Grand Touring Performance, but that's not to say that the Air's specs aren't still very impressive, because they do still boast an acceleration of 0 to 60 in just 2.6 seconds. And this is compared to 2.5 for the high-performance version of the Dream Edition. And their range is also slightly less at an EPA estimated range of 446 miles versus the 471 that we've seen from the Dream Edition. But this new model is still going to have a super quick 900-volt charging system, and this is going to allow users to add up to 300 miles of range in only 21 minutes. And I think a lot of people that find out about Lucid and the fact that they manufacture electric vehicles, they don't necessarily compare those to Tesla vehicles. But this new Air actually beats the highest performing Tesla in most ways, except acceleration. And that highest performing model for Tesla is the Model S Plaid, and that launched last year, and it only had 1,020 horsepower, as compared to the 1,050 from the Grand Touring Performance Edition. And the Model S Plaid also only has a range of 396 miles, compared to the 446 that Lucid is claiming. Now, I suppose there is one other major area where Tesla is ahead, and that's in the price. The Model S Plaid starts at just over $130,000, where the Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance Edition starts at $179,000. But it is, of course, a step up from the traditional Air Grand Touring because it is a performance model, and like I mentioned, it has 1,050 horsepower, where the normal Air Grand Touring only claims 819 horsepower. Now, I'm saying that like it's a small number. 800 horsepower is still unfathomable for most people, and most people couldn't even comprehend how much power that really is. But a lot of car enthusiasts really want to see those four-figure numbers, and they want to see horsepower levels over 1,000. Some people also make the argument that an electric vehicle isn't quite the same as an internal combustion engine, but the fact is that you can't really understand how much power these vehicles have other than using the horsepower figure. So while it's not exactly the same as a gas-powered vehicle, it still puts down some extreme power. But I suppose that information doesn't really matter in regards to Lucid's stock price. But something that might affect their stock price is the fact that this model has already begun shipping, and US deliveries of the new Grand Touring Performance model are going to actually begin in June. And while this new model could help Lucid more closely compete with Tesla, the current problem right now for Lucid is their production. Right now, their best effort forecast for the year is fewer than 14,000 vehicles. So in order for them to even put a dent in Tesla's increasing advantage, they wouldn't be able to miss a single beat throughout the rest of this year. And that's definitely going to be a challenge for Lucid because they're a small startup company compared to Tesla. So all this is just pointing at the fact that it's going to definitely be a wild ride if you're holding shares of Lucid. Just like we've seen over the past year or so, you're going to see a lot of ups and downs if you're invested in Lucid. But I think if you are long term, which I do think Lucid's business is likely to succeed long term, then you probably should just ignore all these short-term price movements that we're seeing. But I think if you're yet to invest in Lucid and you're looking to establish a long-term position, it definitely wouldn't be a bad idea to look for a good entry point. And personally, I do think where Lucid is trading right now, around $20 to $21, is a pretty good entry point. But I think if they were to pull back even more and drop down to the $16 or $17 price point, I definitely think at that point it would be pretty hard to resist buying into Lucid. So I think overall, Lucid is definitely a stock to keep your eye on, because something else that they actually have going for them is the fact that they're concentrating on international growth as compared to a lot of other smaller companies. They had actually started quickly focusing on broadening their reach before even starting. So while right now the biggest hindrance for Lucid is the production numbers, once they get those production numbers up and we start seeing more vehicles produced, that's when we're really going to see Lucid take off. And that's when I think they really could start competing a lot closer to Tesla. Until then, it is kind of a gamble investing in Lucid, but definitely not as much as compared to when Lucid was trading in the $50 range. Right now, it's a lot safer of a bet with Lucid trading at about $20. But of course, I'm not telling you guys to invest in Lucid because you guys know I'm not a financial advisor. But if this is your first time looking into Lucid, or maybe you've considered buying in the past, I would definitely keep a lookout on Lucid and see if you can get in at a better price point possibly, and then I think it would be a steal to buy into Lucid. But let me know, do you guys agree with me, and do you think Lucid is a good stock to be watching right now at this $20 to $21 range, or do you think it would be better to invest if they dropped even lower? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you guys haven't signed up for Webull yet, make sure you guys sign up using the link in the description, and when you sign up and deposit $100, you'll actually get 5 free stocks. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like because it really does help with the channel. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here in the next one.